Where can skincare go?
Is marriage really that hard?
Hello, today we're here to spill the tea. That is currently not made yet, but what we did was ask you guys to ask us guys questions on our Instagram.
So that's coming. We're also gonna spill a lot of juicy life updates, channel updates.
Okay, but first let's make tea. We got some herbal tea.
Well, since you're doing the tea, let me just ask you the first one.
Okay.
What is your favorite ingredient right now, and what do you want to see more of in skincare?
My favorite ingredient that I can think of is hypochlorous acid.
Oh.
Yeah, it's something only because we've talked so much about skincare ingredients. You know, there's nothing that we haven't really come across, but hypochlorous acid this year and end of last year was something that was like, wow, where did this come from? So highly recommend you guys check it out. And then what was it? What do you want to see in skincare?
What do you want to see more of in skincare?
Where can skincare go? That's my question. I think there's a lot of good soothing calming ingredients, but I think probably just more of holistic, what we can eat and drink on our face. Yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Nature is wonderful, guys. Okay, so let me continue the questions. Can ceramides and peptides be incorporated into retinols, and in which step?
Oh yeah, of course. Ceramides and peptides help you rebuild your skin barrier. This is actually what I did yesterday. You know the Wish Trend Soothing Ampoule? I paired that with a retinol, the La Roche-Posay.
Look
you know,
at
the
you.
Grand Active. Who am I?
Guys, peptides be popping off. Literally everything has it, and it's basically just an amino acid that builds your skin. So great, any age.
Yay.
All right, next one. How do you tell the difference between cystic and hormonal acne?
That's a foul question.
Yeah, that's a merry question. So I feel like cystic acne can most definitely fall under the umbrella of hormonal acne, and hormonal acne comes from an imbalance of hormones, which is why we get these big, under the skin bloody pimples. Love this as we're about to drink tea. And it's something that I've suffered with all my life and I still go through it. So we're actually gonna create a video very soon all about free ways to treat your hormonal acne, because everything's about actually what you eat, drink, sleep, exercise.
What are your current thoughts on the skincare industry? And are you excited? Are you meh?
To be honest with you, I think I got a little bored of skincare. It wasn't any brand's fault. It wasn't the industry's fault. It was just the mere fact that we go so in depth about everything, products, ingredients, the ways to mix, you guys know, right? And it got to a point where I was I wasn't seeing anything that different for a majority of the year, and there were some, honestly, there were some great finds. So I think even in terms of the channel, skincare and beauty within channel, it was really about when you do something and you've completed that, what's the next step? Because then what would excite me towards the end of last year was just using the same things.
Yeah.
And that's where
even
it was
now.
hard. Yeah. And some of you asked if we're gonna create a skincare line.
I think that's the end of the video question.
Yeah, wait till the end.
Now let's get to some of the juicy questions. The first question is, are you both married?
Are you married?
Am I married?
Almost. Engaged. And married.
How married?
So married.
Is marriage really that hard?
No. If you marry the right person, it's you're with your best friend every day.
Aww.
Yeah.
That is so cute. How do you live with a boy? Not a man, a boy.
I like your choice of words. Through being very clean and thorough, because you're literally cleaning up after them. But actually, to be fair, my husband,
Who's that?
so he does cleaning and dishwashing as well, but I'm the little fish that cleans up after his cleaning too.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a cycle.
For James and I, my fiance and I, we actually sat down and wrote down chores we like doing and chores we don't like doing.
That is such a you and him thing to do.
It is. And I was so shocked to find that everything I like to do, he hated doing. Everything he liked doing, I didn't like doing. So it just made sense. This is so juicy. Fel, how did you and Thomas turn from friends? They were deep in the friend zone. Like, I don't even know how, like, I can't even, just like, the
We felt molten lava.
Yes.
It was so far down.
How did you turn from friends to lovers? And who made the first step?
So we've been friends for like 9 years. Until about the 8th year, it was like legit, like brother.
Thomas!
Man down.
Now get out of my shot.
I think COVID was really hard for a lot of us, and we were forced to like introspect a lot, grow a lot, think about what was important to us. And I met up with him after, and I was like, wow, you've changed. You're like really calm. And you know when people change, you just feel their
Like, his energy actually
aura is
It was a
different.
bit more frantic.
Yeah, he was very like wound up tight, frantic, always like looking for entertainment. Like for me, a woman, I was like, figure yourself out. Even as a friend, yeah. And like it was to the point where he would come to me for all his dating advice and I'd tell him like, bro, what are you doing? Anyway, so I think, yeah, it was like seeing the change, and then it just grew into more of like, oh, I can appreciate you in a way that I didn't. And then that grew into like, why am I feeling like I actually enjoy time spent with him? And so I made the move, clearly, because like he would never be able to make the move. And like he actually wrote in his journal like that he felt different, but he was never gonna approach me about it. Yeah, and then I was like, so if I never did anything, you wouldn't have said anything? He's like, no, because, you know, like the friendship was important and you come at the cost of ruining that or making it awkward. And I was like, I didn't care, I just need to know.
What was the first thing you did?
Oh, so he doesn't like physical contact with like friends
Anyone?
and stuff. Yeah. It wasn't anything like crazy, like I'd like hug him or anything, but I know my normal distance and I just inched like half an inch closer and be like, I wonder if he's comfortable with this, and if he doesn't run away, then that's like, okay, maybe it is like comfortable.
And on a car ride, you
And then yeah, I like lied on his shoulder like to take a nap, and then he didn't flinch. So it was just like a little things. One for you. How to emotionally connect when you are in a long distance relationship.
we make it a point to make time for each other every single day. And I think that level of presence and commitment you have for each other builds on that emotional connection. I think it's just a commitment to wanting to make the relationship work from both sides.
Yes, presence. It does work.
It does work. How to understand that he is the one.
Oh Lord. Do you want to go first?
Sure. You seem uncomfortable. When I was single,
Your microbiome is like, here's the one.
No, but actually, so when I was single, I really thought about like the person that I want to be with. And I think when we're younger, it's like, oh, he needs to be tall, he needs to be handsome, he needs to be blah, blah, blah. It's like this long checklist, right? But I think I really thought about what I really cared about, and the checklist turned into just 3 things. The first thing is he has to be like somewhat spiritual, because I think believing in some sort of higher power can humble you in ways that other things normally can't. Ideally, he'll speak Chinese so that he can be able to connect with my parents the way that I can connect with my parents. And the last thing is like we need to have similar styles of like senses of humor.
I feel like relationships, all it really comes down to is timing and staying open-minded and knowing your values and your principles. I always said to myself, I will only date someone who can like give me something that I can't give myself. And that's not like physical stuff. It's like the personal growth that I struggle with. So it's like if I'm lazy, then someone who will like make me more proactive. So yeah, I'm like, the one you'll just know.
But
like,
how did you know?
How did I know?
Yeah. All right, what are your thoughts on dating apps? Let us know if you want to make us into a podcast episode. So this is a good transition to our next topic. How do you deal with anxiety in relationships? Why are your lips twitching?
I don't know. I don't really have anxiety.
I will answer this.
Okay.
As someone who had a lot of anxiety in my previous relationship, and I still have a little bit of that now, I feel like the most helpful thing you can do is just to address it with your partner. Because a lot of times you'll realize, like, you know, maybe you'll see something and you start like dreaming and creating this like movie in your mind, and then that could make you go crazy. Like, actually.
That's
right?
painful.
Yeah, so then if you were to just bring it up, it's like, hey, like I saw this, I was just curious. And then like if they're a loving, good partner, they would be like, oh yeah, like this is actually, you know, one of my old coworkers, or like this is like my friend's sister or whatever, and you'll just be like, oh, like there's nothing to worry about. Yeah, so
Find someone who's bad at lying.
Yeah. But I think if it's like anxious about not knowing where the relationship is going, instead of focusing so much on the unknown, ask yourself, like, what do you want? Like, what do you really want? Do you want to be in a relationship that you're in the gray zone? Do you want to be with someone who is leading you on or isn't giving you clear signals?
All right, enough tea on relationships
And life.
Let's talk about wellness. The well of ness. For an introvert, how do you be social? What are some tips? Would you say you're an introvert?
Very.
Okay, yeah, I am too. Although it might not seem like it.
Yeah, Feld does not seem like it.
But I am, right?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
I would say the best tip that I've probably learned over time through experience, and now like I've heard this saying, to be interesting, be interested. When you go somewhere, instead of like crumbling into yourself and being like, I'm alone, I don't want to be here. Instead of doing that, just like be really interested in asking people about their lives and the things that they're going through. And I think with this genuine curiosity of other people, it also takes the pressure off of you to feel like you need to like perform.
Yeah.
Or you need to like be someone that you're not. And I think through asking good questions too, you really get to connect with someone.
There was something that I remember, it was like, what's the difference between social anxiety and introversion? So the psychologist was saying introversion is a way. So it's like your personality, it's just a way. But social anxiety is in your way. So it's like, right? I was like, so it's like, it's stopping you from doing all these things because we think we're introverted, but actually, if you just assume that everyone is kind of like, no one wants to be a fish out of the pool, everyone is essentially feeling the same way at a party, unless you're like those three extroverts over there who are probably banding with themselves, like everyone is like, oh my god, what do I talk about?
Self-conscious.
Yeah, so once again, you extend the olive branch and you're like, hey, people will be like, oh my god, they asked me. Do you guys hang out outside of work? Not really. The funny thing is, we see each other every day, but we don't hang out outside of work.
The thing is, we hang out, we see each other now more than we used to when we lived together even.
We used to live together.
And we both don't really do much outside of work too.
Yes.
So it's not that we don't love each other.
And I feel like she's my sister. You know when you don't really have to say, like, catch up on every single thing, but like when you talk, it's like, it's the stuff that counts. I kind of already know what you were doing throughout the day. I'm terrified of entering my mid-20s, having not achieved anything. Any advice?
Girl, boy, you still young. You have so many more years ahead of you. We put such a huge pressure on ourselves to need to be XYZ by a certain age that honestly, the older you get, the more it'll just be like, it's fine.
I would say just concentrate on building your own skills. Like, be curious and just do those things, and naturally you kind of like find your way through your 20s. Because like, let me tell you, I didn't ever think I was going to be 30, and lo and behold, we're like 30. But like, if I look back now, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I was uncomfortable and I did that thing. And so it's really just about like carving out your behavioral skills, your social skills, your technical skills. Like, that is the time.
And if this helps you in any way, shape, or form, we were both in our mid-20s when we started Beauty Within.
Yeah. Okay, you guys seem so positive all the time. What's the secret? Can I just say, if you really want to like know this question, we have a podcast talking all about it. Why it seems like we're always positive is because what you don't see is when we're negative. and not negative. We're just working through our growing pains. And that's not necessarily gonna be like while we're talking about skincare, but we do that because in order to show up, whether it's to work, whether it's for your family, whether it's for your friends, it's to be positive. So it's like we've kind of done the work behind the scenes and for like more than 10 years to, as seamlessly as possible, show up to you guys and everyone that this is who we are and we are also human, but you just don't see that.
And I think we're both also just more optimistic, glass half full people.
Oh yeah,
And
that
it's
helps.
probably because of our upbringing and the things that we went through. The worst like types of challenges in life, through loss, through just like trials and tribulations as a youth, that I think that probably helped us choose to be more positive.
Yeah.
How's the channel going?
So if you've been here from the beginning, you guys know we talked a lot about like product reviews and how to mix, and I feel like that was sign of the times. But now like everyone's an influencer for skincare, you know, like not just YouTube, but on TikTok, Instagram. And so like for us, we were never in it to talk about just skincare. We were in it to talk about life. And it just so happened that like skincare is one way to learn about our skin, body, and mind. So now I think with any product, any service, you have to find ways to adapt and innovate. And we're just currently in that stage of like figuring out, like the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That is our first foray into the within. And you guys seem to be enjoying it.
As a creator, you're subject to analytics, views, retention, and all this like technical data stuff. And it's not like we can just throw a video out and like just have success. You guys probably signed on for skincare and you expect skincare, but we want to give you more. And so we're just trying to find out different ways to go about it that still gives you what you want, but also like fills our soul.
So what fills your soul, Phil?
Oh my, I love health because my whole journey has been about acne. So on top of me just talking about acne products all the time, I really want to get into like, what are we truly doing to help our skin through inside? One of the things you'll start seeing more of is this internal-external relationship.
Bridge. So to answer your guys' question of if Beauty Within is coming out with skincare products, that's a no from us.
Yeah,
But-
for now anyway.
Yeah.
What you will see is a complete rebrand of our logo, our text, because like if you think about it, Ro and I started when we were like 20 something, early 20s, and now we're in our 30s. The channel really does grow with us.
What you'll see in our new branding is bringing elements of classic with contemporary with a calming and feminine vibe. Inspired by the blooming peony flower, the colors have also matured, which symbolizes our collective growth as small but mighty humans, all on the path to finding our beauty within.
But that's just what it means. But for us, it's not about like what's trendy. It's never been about what's trendy, what's hot, what people are talking about. It's always been like what's good and what is meaningful.
What would you like to see more of in the context of the internal and the external?
And because it's growing with us, do you have any life updates, Ruru?
I do! It's so bittersweet! And I feel like saying it will make it more real. So, family, I will be moving back to Southern California in the coming months.
And why?
Just my family is there, my fiance is there, and I've always known I would go back. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
However, my dedication to this channel and to this team will not change. So we're gonna make it work. We have studios out on the West Coast.
Yes.
I'll be flying to New York to visit Feli and the whole team. And whatever the future holds, we're gonna do it together.
That's basically a roundup of where we're going, what you can expect.
It's my public announcement. I haven't said it in any other...
I know. You now are in New York, but you go there every other week to see James. But now it would just be like, you
Come here every other week to see you.
Yes. Anyway, so just wanted to let you guys know where we're heading, where we're at, and what you can expect to see. And that's about it for now. check it out, Shopify, Spotify. Actually, Shopify and Spotify, because we have this store. If you think like, why don't you guys have more brands? It's because we're literally doing it all, and it takes a lot of effort to like run an e-com store, make content every
We're a
week.
lean and small team.
Yeah, we literally have like 6 people doing everything, and we have to have lives, you know what I mean? So bear with us, but
No lives.
that's it. Cheers! Katink! Katink!